The second time, we filled a suitcase with clothes, emptied the coffee can of quarters into a pillowcase, and waited. We timed our escape around his snoring, opening the front door an inch for each noisy exhale. My brother refused to come with us, a betrayal I would cling to for 23 years. 33 years. My father had locked the phones in the trunk of his car, the nearest payphone across the street in MacArthur Park. I called for the cab, my voice bound by so much fear I had to repeat our address 6 times. My stepmother's nose was broken, a collar of blood wrapped around her nightgown, her scalp bleeding where patches of hair had been. She sat on the curb, holding a tangled fistful of it in her hands. It was absurd to watch her combing through it as if anything could be salvaged. Back in the apartment, she had crawled on her knees, feeling around for clumps of hair in the dark. And I hated her for that, for being nothing more than a woman in that moment. Hated her for the pity I could not feel. 45 minutes later, I was sitting in the back seat of the cab, watching my father rage towards us, my stepmother frantically rolling up her window, yelling at the driver, "Go!" Glass sprayed across our laps. The driver began to scream. My stepmother kept screaming, and I could do nothing but sit quietly amazed as my father reached in and pulled her out through the broken window, dragging the soft flesh of her thighs over an angry tooth of glass. The cab sped off with our suitcase still in the trunk. I stood at the curb, holding a bleeding sack of coins, waiting for silence to overcome the night. The sprinklers came on in the courtyard as I made my way up the sidewalk, following a trail of blood back all the way home.